Hello everyone and welcome back to Football Manager 2017 in our European Journeyman series at Bayer Leverkusen. Now today it is the big game. We are away, or at least in the away dressing room at the Estadio Olímpico de Sevilla for the Champions League final against Manchester City. We've managed to get it in our first full season at Bayer Leverkusen. We've already secured the Bundesliga title. We finished runner-up rather frustratingly in the DFB Pokal, losing to Borussia Mönchengladbach, which was really frustrating. They just knifed us with their first real attack of the game, despite us dominating with 16 shots, 8 of which were on target. Really frustrating to have lost that game. That was our first loss in 6 months of competitive football, so hopefully it won't be 2 in a row. Hopefully it's not like the London buses and we will be able to get the victory today in the Champions League final against Manchester City. Now for this game we've got Havertz, Enriquez and Nachtigall as the front three. I'm hoping that they are, as our most 3 prolific attacking midfielders, that they will be able to do the business up front. Betty and Doumbia are in midfield. They were our central partnership for the entire season. I'm hoping that they can do it one more time. Robolo is back from suspension at left wing back. He missed the second leg of the semi-final. Henriks is at right back. Traub, Rukas and Jench are all at centre-back with Leno in goal. We are missing both Bernardo Silva, who's out still for another couple of months, and Braga, who's out for a couple of weeks from this game. I think had they both been fit, they both would have started, so they're 2 big misses. But hopefully the team will have enough to get them through against Manchester City, who are going to be a very difficult team, and we will be able to lift our 3rd Champions League title of this series. Well, here we are in this Champions League final. The teams are lining up for this game. Hopefully we can get the win today. I really don't see us doing it. The last few times we've been in Champions, or the last 2 times we've been in Champions League final, the one at Valencia again, I didn't think we were going to do it. And at Monaco, I was quite confident we might do it. But here against Manchester City, they are a much better team. And Robolo's managed to get through and had an effort straight in the opening 15 seconds. Henriks with a shot as well. Well, if that's how we're going to start this game, then maybe we are going to win this. We could have scored twice there in the opening minute, and we've still got a corner here, which is headed out for another corner. Manchester City very much under the cosh in this opening minute. I mean, I was about to say that I don't think there's many players in my team that would make the Manchester City squad. Robolo, though, to Jench, and again, we are so close. We've had 100% possession, 3 shots, 2 on target. I don't think I've ever seen that happen in a match. Enriquez with the corner, looking for the back stick. Jench is there. Rukas, how have we not put that in? Finally, Manchester City get a touch of the ball, so it's 99% to 1%. But we could have scored 4 goals in the opening 2 minutes of the Champions League final. That was... I've never seen a start like that in a game of Football Manager. We've now had 8 efforts, 6 on target in the first 10 minutes. Yellow cards being dished out to Marco Hatfield, the former England man. A few England men in this Man City team. Marston, Stones, Hatfield, Clark all in there. Woodburn up front as well. All played for us in the World Cup when we made the final last season. So we're getting to that point of the series where we've managed quite a lot of the big players at the big teams. And they're all familiar to us. This Manchester City team will be difficult to beat, but at the moment we're very much in charge. Look at those stats. Here's Jench on the ball. Looks like we've given them a real shock in the first few minutes of this game. Havertz back to Betty. Now Henriks. Looking to cut inside. Onto Betty again. Ball through to Havertz. He's beaten the defence, but he cannot beat Decker in goal. And we need to be finishing these chances. We can't keep creating them and just letting them peter out. Man City will punish us if we play our football like that. They are struggling though. They've got Ruben Neves on an injury, and Lekesovic, their right back, is also struggling as well. 3 players now on yellow cards for them. They are really not at the races today, although they are coming a little bit more into this game. They're having a few shots now, but so are we. As we approach the half-time mark, I'd feel a lot better if we'd scored in this opening half, because we've had so many chances and it feels like it might be slipping away from us. We'll have to see how the second half goes. We've had 10 efforts on target, none of which have hit the back of the net. That is very concerning. But at half-time, we are the better team by far. we are just not finishing the chances, and that is exactly what happened against Gladbach in the DFB Pokal final. Now Koeman sends it over to Caballero. What can he do? He tries to swing it in, Rukas heads it out, and that's the end of the highlight, but Traub is on the ball. Leno to Jensch, who heads it on to Henriks, inside to Betty. He finds Robolo, puts it over, Havertz is in behind, he's got 3 players over, but he doesn't need them. Kai Havertz gets his 17th goal of the season. We pushed him back up front after trying him out in midfield, and he has just scored the opening goal in the Champions League final, a game that we are thoroughly dominating and need to keep building on. Now we've got that first goal, we need to try and find a couple more. They're bringing in the reinforcements. Renato Sanchez now on the pitch. Jenscho winning the header. Enriquez, Betty down to Nachtigall. He's a little bit boxed in and he's gone for goal. What is he doing there? Decker wasn't even off his line. But he decided to go for it for whatever reason. At the moment, we're still in control of this game. They haven't had a shot in this opening half, but Lopez has the ball onto Woodburn. Kingsley Coman loses out to Doumbia. Now Havertz, probably going to ping this one over the top. Instead, he puts it into Betty, who does ping it over the top, and Enriquez is in behind. He's struck the ball straight at Decker again, and Decker must be the best goalkeeper in the game at this point. He's made 11 saves in the Champions League final. Robolo with the throw to Betty. Coman wins it in the tackle, but gives it straight back to us. Rukas to Doumbia. He puts it forward to Enriquez. Betty to Havertz. Ball through to Enriquez, cut out by John Stones, and it was an important interception as well. Now Woodburn can run at us. Are we about to be sucker punched? Betty with a big tackle. Havertz to Enriquez. There's one over the top, but he didn't use it. Nachtigall onto Betty, through to Havertz. He's lost out to Marston, who's a very good defender. Traub forward to Doumbia. We just keep coming back at them. Nachtigall over the top. Henriks in a good position, cuts inside, puts it across, and there's Robolo off the post. It wouldn't be one of our games if we didn't strike the post, but we have had so many chances now to kill this game. We should be 4 or 5 up, but it is still 1-0, and I am still on the edge of my seat. I hope you are too. We're going to have to take... do we have to take Betty off? No, I think even though the team is tired, they are playing too well for me to chop and change right now. I might switch out one of the strikers. Especially now that Enriquez is injured, I'm going to have to switch out one of the strikers. And I think I'm going to bring on Lewis, actually, which is a bit of an unusual one. But I want a striker up front. When we're creating this many chances, I want to be able to have somebody there who can finish it. 10 minutes left to go. We are going to drip feed substitutions in the last 5 minutes or so. But here's another highlight. Henriks trying to find Doumbia, is giving the ball away. Lopez tackled by Doumbia, who wins it finally. Now Lewis onto Betty, forward to Havertz, over to Robolo. Lewis trying to make a run. Betty through to Lewis. This is what we brought him on, but again, Decker with the strong hand. 14 saves now he's made in the Champions League final. I can absolutely guarantee no other goalkeeper has ever done that in Champions League history. Maybe somebody can prove me wrong. But here come City. They've got us on the counter-attack. Is this about to sink us? A ball comes back. Betty again with another interception. And now Nachtigall trying to be played through, but he couldn't quite get to the ball. Just a few minutes left for us to see out. I'm going to, I think, have to take off Nachtigall. But I'm not sure who to bring on. I guess it needs to be Leon Bailey, who might be about to move to Ajax. That will have to do for now. He will at least stretch the defence a bit because he does have the pace. Just 5 minutes left to go. City still with just one shot. And they're about to have another highlight. I'm going to have to take Robolo off for Douglas Santos, I think. Hopefully this doesn't go to extra time. Robolo sends the ball forward. Lewis brings it down. He puts it over to Havertz. Oh, and that's a horror tackle from Dave Marston. He's got to walk, and he is. A straight red card for our former England man. And we'll be playing 10 men for the last 3 minutes with a 1-0 lead in the Champions League final. Are we about to do it? Betty with the free kick. Just 3 minutes of added time away from this title. Doumbia out to Douglas Santos. 3 in the middle, but it's cleared out. And we get another throw-in. So close now, just 1 minute left, no time left whatsoever. Surely Henrik sends it in, there it is. The ticker tape comes down. You have to say we deserved the win in that final. That was just so impressive from the team. Getting that 1-0 win, it should and could have been a lot more. But I will happily take a 1-0 win in a Champions League final. There it is. We've done the double. We've lifted the Champions League for the first time in Bayer Leverkusen's history. Now the third time that we have won the title. And since we started this series, it's the fifth time that one of our clubs has won the title. Benfica won it twice in between our management of them, winning it twice after we left, when we'd already built in the team up to a point where they were able to win the Champions League. But we also won it with Valencia, we won it with Monaco, but it's the first time we've won it now for 5 years, so really nice to have finally got another Champions League under our belt. And if we have a look at our profile, I think, or our history actually, and try to find the achievement stage and the biography. There you go. I mean, this biography is getting very impressive now. We started at Valencia, where we won the Champions League and then left to go to Benfica. We won 3 league titles there, the Super Taça de Oliveira, the Taça de Portugal Placar, and the Taça de Liga twice. And then we went to Monaco, we won Ligue 1, we won the Trophy de Champion, the FIFA Club World Cup, the Champions League for a second time, the UEFA Super Cup, the Coupe de France, and then we went to Napoli and we managed to win the Serie A and the TIM Cup twice there, with 2 Super Copas as well, before going on to Leverkusen, where we've now won the Bundesliga and the Champions League. We have won so many Manager of the Year awards, but this is a very, very impressive history that we've built up in our time. We didn't manage to win the World Cup. We reached the final of the World Cup though, but this is quite an impressive record. We're going to do one more year at Leverkusen, another full season, and then I think we will look to move on. Hopefully we can retain our title and maybe win that DFB Pokal. That's the main reason I want to stay, is because I feel like we were robbed of the treble this season. But it's been one heck of a season. I can't wait to have a transfer window with this new tactic and hit the ground running next season. I think we could be somebody really to be afraid of. When you look at that run of wins, all of the runs of wins we've had, but this one especially, it really is impressive. And this tactic could really do great things for our club if we bring the right players in. Just have a look through these messages. You can see we won £13.5 million. Traub now happy to say I told him we'd win the Champions League, and we went and did it. I'm now cream of English managers, and it's the best manager England have ever produced apparently. Leverkusen fans love me, the board love me. Chelsea are after Traub, there's no way he's leaving. Not now we're German and European champions and we've got so much cash. But they've not given us a transfer budget. We've got £25 million transfer budget and £110 million in the bank. When you look at our transfer history for this season, we turned a £50 million profit and managed to win the league and Champions League in our first full season. That has got to be one of the biggest achievements I have ever had in this game. But hopefully we will be able to spend more than £25 million in the summer. But let's have a quick look at the players that we have in our team. There's a few superstars in here. Yep, Betty, the biggest one, now worth £42 million. We signed him for £28 million from Ajax, and he has been without doubt our best player. Stefan Traub, also one of the better players in the team. He's been with Leverkusen since he was a graduate player, actually a regen from Leverkusen. He's been a one-club player there before we came, and there still now. Lewis, a player we brought in worth £35 million, but because we don't play a striker, he's not played for us virtually at all, and will surely have to leave in the summer. Braga suffered with injuries a little bit, which was quite frustrating, but he's a very good attacking midfielder. Just £7.5 million we paid for him as well, and it's finishing that is a problem at the moment. Enriquez, not a bad player, could still develop for us, so I think he will still be around next season. £7.75 million signing, done very well for us from Manchester City actually. Doumbia, we brought him in, he's 29 years old now. We got him on a free from Benfica, and he has absolutely justified that signing. Kai Havertz, another one worth £29 million now. He's been with the club since the beginning, actually at the club right at the start of this game, and he's been here ever since. He's just had his best season for us. He must be getting on a bit now. He's only 27 years old actually, only one cap for Germany, but he just had his best season by far for us. Robolo, another player that we signed, is fantastic at left wing back. Just £6 million. He was another absolute steal. So many players have developed so well this season. Lucas Rukas, we managed to pick up very cheap, £7 million from Red Bull. Salzburg, a very, very good signing there. He wasn't even really playing for them. And then we've managed to turn him into a very good centre-back. Henriks is in there. Let's sort them by potential. For some reason they're not properly sorted. Peran, not really played this season, but I'm sure he will going forward. He just doesn't really fit the system. Malherbe, an out-and-out striker who we've managed to get playing in central midfield, cost us £3.8 million and definitely justified with his appearances this season. Diego Funes is currently out on loan, but he may well be coming back into the team. He's been with the club since the beginning of his career. Fink, another player who's not really played, doesn't fit the system very well, but is a little bit versatile, which is why he's still here. Another regen. I mean, this is one of the reasons we came to the club, was they had so many good youth prospects. Leon Bailey will be leaving the club soon because he doesn't fit the system. Shiel, another player who could develop, has done well as a bit part player for us. And then Naktagal, what a hero he has been for us. Coming in off the bench, he's still not even that good a player, but he's just this season exploded onto the scene. 24 appearances, 10 goals and 6 assists in the league, 14 goals overall this season. He came out of absolutely nowhere and is without doubt my favourite player at the minute at the club. Jensch, another very good player, 24-year-old German. He's one that's been at the club since the start. There's quite a few players like this. It's one of the reasons I really did like this club. Mikulacek, another German in the team who didn't play but has been at the club since the start. And these are the spine of the team. They're the reason that I want to stay another season. Henrik's now 30 years old. We're going to have to look for a replacement for him. He had his best season for a long time with us and has been with the club since the start, so I don't think I'll let him go. Doumbia, we've already had a look at. Burton Leno has to be replaced this season, now 35 years old. And he had his best season for us as well. He had a good season back then, but another very good player. Bernardo Silva now will probably need to leave. His contract ends in 2 years though, so given his injury he might not be able to leave for a while, but he was so good for us for 7 games before getting injured. And Douglas Santos, another one who's getting on a bit and needs to really move to a new club because he is just too old to really be playing. But overall, the team has a strong core of players who have come through the Leverkusen academy, and we've got some real top class players in there as well who will be able to build the team going forward. So I'm looking forward to using them and building around the squad that we've got. I don't think too many players will be leaving. Some will, but not a massive overhaul. I'm mostly looking to bring in a few key players to strengthen midfield, defence and the attacking midfield area, maybe one for each position and a goalkeeper as well. So it's basically the spine of the team. If we could get 4 signings, 1 for each area, I would be very, very happy. Hopefully we can get about 6 in total. But I'm not really looking to ship too many players out because I'm happy with the squad size, and I think a few more signings would do us good. But that is going to be it for this episode and this season. If you've enjoyed watching us win the Champions League and Bundesliga double, do please drop a like on the video. Make sure to follow me on Twitter if you don't already. Links in the description. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see how we get on next season in our second full season in Germany. But until next time, see ya!